and stuff. And all right. Okay, guys, it says that we are live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Caliber Corner episode number 85. Whew, we're getting up there today. We got a great panel joining us. And real quick, let's just check and see who's joining us over on the YouTube side. We'll check the gun channel side here in a second because I didn't see anybody over there. So this morning we've got Furry Fighter M1991, number one person to check in. Southpaw's over there. Drucifer's over there. Sketchy Rolls, a little bit sleepy sketchy. Get some coffee, bud. Tacos and French fries as usual. Scott P79, Jason Stewart in the house. Frank Hellman's with us. Is this Coffee with Travis? Why, yes, it is. Southpaw Ozzy Orsborn with us. SS Pawn Stands joining in today. And Cowboy Swami just got here. So let's see who's on the gun channel side today. Looks like there's some people that are there, but they're not commenting yet in the chat. So hopefully we'll have them commenting over there and we'll let people join. And let's go ahead and let the panel introduce themselves today. And as you can see, I'm not in my usual location. I do apologize. Quick heads up, just let everybody know now so people don't think there's something wrong. Caliber Corner will be moving to Thursday nights from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock Eastern time, 5 to 7 Central time, starting in April. So we got a couple more mornings here going off at this time on Saturdays, but then we'll be switching to Thursday evenings, just to let you guys know. So real quick, let's go and start off with my left this time. AWAG, what is new in your world, brother? How you doing, man?
Howdy. Just building AKs, getting some reloading done today. I got a really awesome hand load going for the Howe mini action. Mm-hmm. I will show off my PSL in just a second. I'm loading my very last round here. Mm. So check out my channel for various shooting memes and dark senses of humor. If you can't catch some of my dark sense of humor, then I guess the smiley yellow face hides it very well. So, yeah. All right, I'll get off to showing off the PSL so far.
All right, and I got to ruin the surprise, but you said you got that group down to a quarter inch at 100 yards on that Howa?
Oh, yeah.
Nice,
nice. I actually have the target over there. I'll grab it in a bit.
Okay.
But here's the PSL so far. I do have to redo the rear trunnion because it is set a little too low, and it makes the recoil spring bind up on the bolt carrier group. But other than that, it's completely finished. So
nice.
I'm just waiting on new rivets and a new trigger guard because a while back when I went to go demill the actual trigger guard that came with the kit, it snapped the here it is. There we go. So basically it snapped the rear rivet point. Okay. It snapped it clean off, and if you look closely, it's a little there's a little bit of orange in there, so it's actually rusted all the way through.
Oh.
And so I ordered a new one from Apex, and the box is actually over there. So if you want to do an unboxing, then I could totally do that.
Let's do it. Yeah, we'll let the panel go and introduce themselves, and then we'll bring it on back, and you can go ahead and show us what kind of parts you picked up, and we can check it out, and then we'll jump into our topics. So cool, man. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. You got your hands full right now, and again, perfecting your gunsmithing skills for no gun manufacturing skills, right? For Night Wagon Rifle Works.
See, the problem with that is now that I see what's going on in the courts, especially with that whole Sandy Hook gun crap going on,
liability in the gun companies.
Oh, it's definitely making me not want to go into business.
Well, I'm kind of curious how long that's going to last, because as soon as you get that first person that gets shot by the police wrongfully, and the companies or the families now start suing Glock and SIG and Smith and Wesson, man, you can't help but wonder what kind of liability it's going to open up. But we'll talk about that later. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Gizzard Gary, how you doing this morning, man? How's it going?
I'm doing all right. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
So Gizzard Gary this morning or last night shared a really cool link for a new High Point video. And the cool thing about it, this is one of the first times I've ever seen a promotional video for a company that features gun content creators in the video. And so a lot of the channels that I follow, they're showing these guys shooting these guns, which is kind of cool, because a lot of times it's their own little factory video with some dude all tacked out and he's in the black range and he's shooting the gun, and they do the slow motion. This one's got straight up just people out in the woods shooting stuff. They're blowing up cantaloupes and stuff.
I like the way they put it together. It's really cool.
It is. I'll go and put a link for it on both sides on the YouTube side, and it's going to take you to the webpage, and then from there you guys can click on the link and watch the video if you want. And they kind of feature the new C9, but they don't really show it off. They show some of the design video from it, and then after that they go into the footage of just people just having fun with their high points. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, Gary, tell us about your channel, man. What can we expect to see if we go over there? What's going on? What's new?
On my channel, let's see. We pretty much do. I mean, I do have some static videos out there, but mostly I host a show on Friday nights called Foul Territory, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central,
Cool.
where we talk about guns and other things for 2 hours. We had a good discussion last night.
Nice.
Always have a good time there. And the last couple of weeks, I have also done a Sunday morning kind of a lobby type show. It's kind of iffy whether that's going to happen this Sunday, just based on my travel plans. But I will try to get something in. But I'm also off this next week, so we might have some extra fun this next week.
All right, cool, man. Lots of good stuff. I got to try to make it into Foul Territory. It's kind of tough for me. Last night, unfortunately, we were on the road, so I didn't get a chance to join in. But I'll try to get in there when I can. So I appreciate you guys.
It'd be great.
Man, got to get you guys on that. It sounds like it's a lot of fun. So,
It is.
all right, cool. All right, Sandhill Shooter checking in with us. You're staying high and dry. Is that correct?
Well, I'm not high. I just act like it sometimes.
Well, like high above the water. No. In case you guys don't know, Nebraska is a swampy mess right now. So it's flooding mess.
Man, I thought for being so far above sea level, you guys wouldn't have water up there.
Well, everything rushes down across us as it goes down south. You know, a lot of the major rivers come from the south and the west, and we had a ton of snow melt. And there's a lot of flat areas that don't have drainage, or if they do, it just goes into ditches, and then it doesn't have anywhere to go. But anyway, Sandals, go ahead.
Yeah, Nebraska, for those of you who aren't aware, because oddly enough, I haven't seen this on the national weather channel much. I haven't seen it on national news much. Nebraska got rocked the last couple of days at the same time with the blizzard, what is essentially a hurricane, a tropical depression or a hurricane, and flooding, all from one end of the state to the other. And some places got both.
Yeah, they actually named the damn storm. They actually named a winter storm. I guess they've been doing that for a while. I had no idea. I'm like, tropical storm like Omer? Are you kidding me? I feel like I'm in Florida now. This is nuts, except we had like blowing. It was like if you could take a Slurpee and a fan and throw slush. That's basically what it was doing at like 60 miles an hour when it peaked where I was living. I looked outside like, this ain't the kind of stuff you see every day.
Yeah.
The wind was terrible. I mean, it was, we're talking upwards of, a lot of you guys might say, oh, 60 miles an hour, no big deal, especially if you live in a hurricane area. But, we get 20, 30 mile an hour winds on a regular basis, but 60 was cranking it, man.
Sustained at 60 is rough even for Nebraska. We get gusts up to 60 a few times a year, but a sustained wind. And the worst part, what made it so bad was the low pressure. It's been, I don't remember how many years since a low pressure zone that low was over top of Nebraska. So, but the western half of the state is digging out of snow, and the eastern half of the state is underwater. The town where I live is okay. There were a few of the low spots that always get water were bad, but they didn't have some serious flooding issues in my town. But that's because back in the 60s, they put a flood control, basically a canal in to divert a lot of runoff water. And so it was almost, and we got evacuated Thursday morning from our side of town because they were worried that was either going to fail or overflow or both. But then it didn't happen. It did go down overnight, so we were back in our house yesterday morning.
Good.
But just for those of you who want to be able to do something, I mean, thoughts and prayers are great. If anybody wants to actually send a little money towards the aid efforts in Nebraska, I'm going to announce it Tuesday on 2A Tuesday as well. But I do have a PayPal, and any PayPal money that comes in the month of March is going to go towards right to the efforts. It's the fastest way to get it there. If I said Super Chat or Patreon or any of those, I haven't gotten paid for Super Chats ever yet. I don't have enough built up even to get paid out. So PayPal is the fastest way to get the money to the people that can use it. So in the month of March, the rest of this month, all that money that I can get rounded up on my 2A Tuesday chats and on my channel, I will get it into PayPal, and then I will get it over to a few of the places across the state. Red Cross is one of them that's doing a lot here, and I'm going to do the research and find out exactly where that money can be best spent from one end of the state to the other. But anybody that wants to help, I will get that PayPal address out Tuesday. So make sure you catch us Tuesday night on our channel.
And a lot of people, they, on their property and stuff where they're living, they don't have any, like they were not told that there was no listing for a floodplain. There was none at all. So.
Yeah.
Sorry,
we've had up on the Niobrara River, which people that know about Nebraska tourism know that that's a big river for canoeing and tubing.
Mm-hmm.
About an hour and a half, 2 hours east downstream, there was a little place called Spencer Dam. That dam is gone, and all that water that it was retaining is, of course, heading down towards the Missouri. And so there's just a ton of areas that the initial flooding here in my town might be over, but that water is still making its way down towards the Missouri River at Niobrara, and then on through Gavin's Point Dam at Yankton, South Dakota, and then on downstream towards Omaha, Sioux City, Omaha, Council Bluffs. Eventually, it's heading to St. Louis, to get to the Mississippi. That water is going to still cause a ton of problems across the plains in the Midwest for the next several weeks to come. And there's still a ton of ice and snow out west that's going to feed this for a long time too. So the initial scary part may be over, but the flooding's not over, the danger's not over, and the people losing their homes, their property, their animals, their livestock, and a few people have lost their lives across our state. That's not necessarily over yet.
Yeah.
So we do appreciate everybody's support. The National Guard's out there working around the clock. All the rescue workers are working around the clock. Those people don't get the thanks they deserve.
Yeah, especially if you live in an area that could potentially flood, just make sure you're paying attention to the news, because I keep watching all these videos of these people that had to be saved, and a lot of people thought they were going to be okay, but they were saying that, the water was rising 5 to 6 feet an hour. You go to bed and wake up, your house could be an island, and that happened to a lot of people. I've been watching the rescue teams coming out, getting people out of their homes because they were stuck, and they didn't think they'd have to worry about it. They weren't necessarily told to evacuate, and here it's like, boom, your house is underwater,
If you're anywhere near eastern Nebraska and you have an airboat, they could still use you.
Yeah, Iowa people, especially, be ready for that too. So,
yeah, Iowa, Kansas, Missouri people, get your airboats out and start planning now. Get some bottled water. Get ready. Make a bug out bag. Get ready. You never know. I never thought that was going to be an issue at my house here.
Yeah. Yep. There we go. All right, man. Well, hey, I'm glad you're with us. I'm glad you guys are safe, you and your family, and thoughts and prayers go with everybody in Nebraska right now, because it's going to be a pretty hectic time for people to try. I know my family's cut off to the north. All the roads are washed out where my mom and my stepdad live. It's a big town. They can't get anybody really in or out, or if they can, it's just going to be specifically for supplies, semis and stuff, bringing supplies in. They're not letting any road traffic out because they don't want to have to rescue anybody that gets stuck in water. So it's a pretty big. We're talking a city of 25,000. That can really turn into a hectic situation. So, hey, real quick, we're going to backtrack here and let Kingpin introduce himself. Good morning, David. How's it going, man? How you doing?
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm doing fine.
Cool. Hey, you want to tell us a little bit about your channel here and what we can expect to see if we head on over there?
No.
Nah, there's no content over there. No, it's just nothing but good stuff, right?
No. Yeah.
Feel
free to go check out the channel. If you like what you see, leave a comment and we'll talk about it.
Cool. Sounds good, man. Yeah, it's showing off that new Remington 1911 or that Ruger 1911 you picked up, man. That's a beauty.
Oh yeah, I was in love before I got it, and it's just absolutely fantastic.
So now you know how Matt feels about that 6-hour nightmare, huh?
Oh, that thing's crazy too. That's a beautiful gun too.
Nice. I'm really getting jealous. I think there might be a 1911 in my future. I got to get the stupid AR pistol built, and then I can move on to something else. So, all right, man. Well, thanks for joining us this morning. I appreciate you being here.
Oh, always a pleasure. Thanks, Travis.
Cool. All right, Squibby's in the house. Squib, what are you doing this morning, man? Are you reloading or what? You working? He may be doing that. He might be getting himself another cup of coffee. I don't know.
I am at work and I cannot get to the damn mute button.
Don't worry about it. Dude, we're used to it. We're used to waiting a couple seconds. I mean, everybody, if you're mobile or you're on your phone. Hey, so what do you got coming up on your channel? You got some nice little speaking squibbish going on now. You got some kind of going through some reloading items and stuff like that, giving some overviews on things.
Yeah, I got some more reloading stuff in the works, and I might be doing some product reviews. I don't know. Sometimes when I start filming them, something goes wrong, not necessarily with the product, but with the filming, and then I scrap the whole project. So I've got some in the works, but with testing, here's the thing. Like, I've been working on the action camera I use. I started filming and testing with that back in August of last year. Hot weather test, cold weather test, blah, blah, blah. By the time I get all the testing done and actually edit it, the video will be too long and too boring, and they'll have discontinued it. So, but I do have some product reviews planned, and I do have some gun stuff planned, some more reloading stuff in the works. I've recorded a bunch of voiceovers for Speaking Squibbish. I've got to go through them and decide, do I want to use this one? Do I want to redo it? I've got one where I've done 3 pages of notes on it, and I just haven't sat down in a quiet room where I can actually put it all together and record it and then offend everybody. But yeah, I'm having fun with the channel, with making videos and stuff like that. It's a fun hobby. It's and I'm jumping on live shows as usual when I can. I mean, I'm at work right now, and I told my boss, "Hey, man, you want me to come in on Saturday? Just understand that, I do this podcast, and he's really not, into stuff like social media and YouTube and things like that. So I'm not sure if he actually understands that I'm live on air right now. So I don't think he understands what that is. So, I try to jump on the shows, and I appreciate all the invites everybody gives me. And I have a pretty good time, whether we agree or disagree, or even when I don't have any smart remarks to add to a show, I really do like going on the live shows. So
cool, man. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you being here and joining in and contributing to the chat and stuff. It's always good to have you here. And like I said, some of the topics for today might be up your alley, so you and Tony are probably gonna have fun with this one. I'm kind of learning about it as I get older. I'm taking more time to educate myself on the history of guns, and not so much about reading about the newest and latest stuff coming out, but the good old stuff that's out there. So, all right. Well, hey, man, thanks for being here. I appreciate you joining in.
Yep, thanks for the invite.
Cool. Tony's joining us. Tony's in the house. Tony, what do you know, man? What's going on?
I'm waiting for this stupid winter to be over with.
Have you guys had any warm days yet? You guys got above freezing recently or not? You get up in the 40s?
I believe we had spring and summer here Wednesday and Thursday.
Back to cold or what?
Yeah, it's cold now.
Yeah.
I had a tree come down in my garage.
Oh, my God.
Fortunately, it didn't do any damage to speak of.
Now you got to try to get rid of it, though. You got to try to cut it all down and stuff.
No, I cut it down the day it fell.
Okay.
I got to cut it up yet, but
yeah,
that was the day that the warmth was turning back to cold.
Oh,
we had a lot of wind, and
yeah, some of those old trees, man, they just can't handle it,
This one wasn't really that old, but it was dead. I knew it was going to come down.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of glad it did in the way it did, because it pulled stump out of the ground. I'm not going to have to deal with that either.
That's convenient.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we had 2 trees that have been dead for 2 years. We bought our house. They bloomed in the spring, and by June or July, they were both gone. They got they had some sort of a grub worm in them that had infested, because you could take the wood apart and see all the channels in it. And I was getting tired of picking up branches and falling stuff, and one of them was hanging over an alley. So I thought, well, the last thing I need is a log to fall on somebody's vehicle and they're driving underneath of it. So we had them cut down, and that was a lot of work. But man, I'm glad they're gone. So, all right, dude. Well, hey, I appreciate you being here, and thanks for joining in. So AWAG has a little something special for us here, real quick. AWAG, you want to do a quick unboxing on the Apex parts that you ordered?
Sure thing.
All right, so you ordered some stuff from Apex. All right, and what'd you end up getting?
All right, let's see. I'm on mobile right now.
Oh, so you got to show off the paramilitary.
Yeah, paramilitary too. Starter toe. You can definitely see its use.
Oh, I thought that was a bench made. So
no, I don't do bench made.
Oh, we won't spark up discussion on that. We're done talking about. Vote with your wallet, people. Vote with your make your decisions with your wallet. So, All right, so you got some. I thought Apex only did like pistol parts. I really don't visit their website that often.
You know,
There's
I'm
your
only
thumb
doing
over
with
there, man. You need your thumb for that later. Be careful.
I know. You know what's dangerous? More dangerous than a sharp knife? A dull knife.
Exactly. This is true. This is true. That was the one thing they always told us in the beef packing plan is keep your knife sharp because that way the nice clean cut's easier to stitch than a jagged tear. So.
Oh no, they folded my sticker. Oh, I'm gonna have to send it back.
Oh, that's terrible. Look at that. There's your American quality right there. Look what happened. What do you have in there? They put a bowling alley in there. Hey, Wag, a bowling alley in there?
I don't know.
Is that a statue? Is that a lamp?
So I got some stuff.
Yes, you did.
Oh my gosh, jeez. Good grief.
You get wrapping paper? What?
Yep. All right. So I got a Romanian PSL sling.
Dude, they took
which is
that
leather.
They couldn't just put that in a soft envelope or something and drop it in the mail.
No.
Good God, that's the worst.
And I got a replacement trigger guard that I was talking about for the PSL. So
nice.
And then this.
You can tell that the people that wrap that think you're good at
Oh my gosh.
It's definitely men that wrap that because we would use 17 feet of paper to wrap up the trigger guard. You know, it's
good grief, all the noise that's coming off of this.
You're gonna wake your parents up, dude. Seriously.
I'm probably gonna wake the neighbors up with this.
Is that a cleaning rod for a Mosin or what?
Ah.
Oh, there you go. There she is.
It is an M76 barrel.
Now they manufacture that themselves, or are they a reseller, or what?
I think they get somebody to make it for them, but it's U.S. made, 8mm Mauser. Ooh, it's kind of crummy up top.
Just need to be cleaned up, or what?
Yeah, it just needs to be cleaned up.
Okay.
Other than that,
so I got to ask, how much was that barrel? No, I'm not judging. I'm just curious. What's a barrel cost for an?
Only $144.
Okay. So now you're going to put that in which rifle? What's it going to go into?
I will show you in a sec.
Oh.
It's going to go in basically the Zastava M76.
Oh, okay.
Which is this wonderful kit right here, which I will move because I've got junk everywhere. Because we got everything from my grandfather's estate, so we got more stuff. So I'll only show off the stock because I don't have time for everything else. And as you can hear, I'm making.
Save that wrapping paper for Christmas, okay? You can like wrap up giveaways and stuff with it, and you can. Ooh,
yeah, this is for the Zastava M76.
Okay.
So it's basically the Yugoslavian PSL, essentially.
Okay. Now, what can you use for magazines for that if you're going to be shooting the 8mm Mauser through it? Will it take just a box mag, or what? Do you have to use something different for it, or what's it compatible with? AWAG may have cut himself off. AWAG, I think, did you get muted? Did you mute yourself, or did we mute you?
Sorry, I accidentally hit the button.
I was like, where'd he go? Okay, got NS.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
I have magazines for the M76. So I'll get one out that I cleaned up because these are all covered in Cosmoline and junk. So these are pretty much proprietary magazines for the M76, but they actually feature a bolt hold open.
Okay, who makes those? Because there was a company that I was able to get my 308 Zastava M77 magazines from that they made them just for. They were the only company making new production box mags for the M77. Who'd you get that through?
This is Zastava made.
Oh, okay. Because C-Specs is the place here in the U.S. that makes them, and they make a lot of hard-to-find magazines for like Vepers and stuff like that, where you can't get the factory ones, or you can't get them cheap, or you don't want the 5-round box mag that came with the gun because of like 922R or whatnot, or just because of importation rules and stuff. So, oh, he muted himself again.
Yeah, these are factory military magazines.
Oh, cool. Okay. Nice. Well, it sounds like it's going to be a fun build, man. Oh, let's see. Yoder's chiming in. He just said, "Oh God, I'm awake on Saturday morning." Yes, you are, Yoder. But Yoder, remember, we're going to be going to Thursday evenings from 6 to 8 Eastern time, 5 to 7 Central time, or Texas time, I should say, starting in April. So you got to be nice awake. So AWAC, approximately how long is it going to take you to get that build done? What do you think?
Depends on how long it takes to get the receiver.
Okay.
So receivers are like $500, and they're milled instead of stamped. So it might take a lot longer than a stamped receiver.
Okay. Gotcha, man. All right, cool. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. I didn't realize Apex. I mean, I should probably browse their website more often. I've only looked at them for like ST9VE aftermarket trigger kits and stuff like that. So, by the way, those of you that have Taurus PT111s and G2Cs, if you just type in G2C aftermarket trigger on YouTube, there is a company that's now making a nice aftermarket trigger for the G2C. It's a monster to install. But if you can do anything with punches, if you're patient with it, it's not impossible. But they make a trigger that takes out a lot of that extra slack on the G2C trigger. Since we're talking gun parts, I don't know what it costs, but I was watching a video on it on one of the websites. Somebody sent me a link to it, and I was checking it out. Looks like it might be a lot of fun. I thought about buying a G2C just to install that aftermarket trigger. But so real quick, I want to shift over to something. So Giz or Gary, why don't you explain to me this link that you sent to me? I'm going to go ahead and mute the sound, but play the video for people watching right now. You sent me a really cool link today, and what was it? What's this all about?
Well, I got an email yesterday from High Point.
Okay.
Where they were, I need to pull that
There you go,
up.
guys. Yeah, I'm showing it on screen share right now. So
it says, watch the gun video that may just break the internet. And some will say the greatest stories are never fully told. So they're just basically wanting to put out a video to showcase the 30 years of their products.
So the one thing about the video, this is your typical factory video. You got the sinewy dude with the spiky hair, and you got the beautiful girl on the left shooting the gun in Muddy Girl camo. But then here's what I like about the video. They now interweave content from YouTube content creators. They're showing off. There's TFB. They showed right there. There's Honest Outlaw reviews. So they're showing content creators actually using their weapons, actually firing them. So that was kind of cool. They're showing actual, customers showing off the guns, doing like the mud tests and stuff with them. And by the way, Honest Outlaw Reviews is one of the most underrated channels on YouTube. He is awesome.
Yeah,
guy is out in Iowa.
Channel.
What's that?
That is a great channel.
Yeah, his videos, I've been watching his channel just kind of evolve and get better as time goes on. So, I mean, they're even blowing stuff up in the videos. That is awesome.
Yeah.
So, what I do like is they show off the C9, the new C9 coming up. I wish they would make it in like a gray and black. That would be sweet if they would offer it like that. The new Gen 2 model.
I'm
and the fact
they're
gonna
one when they come out.
Oh, man, I'm first in line, buddy. Well, I still need to get my Taurus TX22 after I get my. I've been getting a few guys have sent me links for them in stock, and they're about I think Stan told me they're around $350 delivered. They're about they're a little more expensive than you would think they are. They're like $299, $315 before, transfer fees and stuff like that. But depending on who you get them through, if you go through Davidson, but the new C9s are going to be under 200. I mean, there's going to be MSRP of 199, and then they'll probably be 160, 175. Yeah, it does have that grip safety on the back of it, but that's so they could eliminate one of the other safeties that used to make noise when you'd shake the gun. They actually took that safety out and integrated into the grip instead. But so yeah, High Point's got a lot of great things coming. I'm still waiting for them to come out with a 10 millimeter pistol. I think that would be really cool if they would do that. But yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's just kind of cool that they're actually showing content creators shooting their guns instead of just having the usual, tacked out video with the dark range shooting scenes and stuff like you see in every gun video. But no, that's good stuff, man. That one's not going to come out till later on this year. So Gary, we got time to pick up that TX22.
Yeah, I think we can save up money and get them both.
Yeah, that'd be one to definitely pick. That'll be my next purchase after I get my. I'm going to order my AR upper here in a couple weeks. I think I'm going to go with the 10.5 inch 300 blackout. I don't want to go 8.5. I'm going to go ahead and go 10.5 inch, and then at some point probably run a suppressor on it, because if I get a can for that, I can run that on several other weapons that I have in the house. So and I don't even know if I want to. I like that pistol kit, but I can always use the stuff that comes in it, but it is $400. Whereas if I just want the upper complete, it's $250 from PSA. So I'm probably going to just go that route and get the upper, and then eventually get the SBA 3 brace down the road, so I can kind of draw out the expenses of buying all this stuff. So, but anyway, yeah. So that's kind of my plans for what's going on. All right, so let's go ahead and move into the first topic I have for today, and if you guys, I'm sure you guys have probably seen it. It's been on, on the internet news and stuff. If you watch any gun videos, it's being featured quite a bit. When I was at Tulsa last year, I had an opportunity to handle the FK BRNO field pistol. And Santos, were you walking with me when we checked that sucker out? I think they wanted $6,800 for it, or $7,000 for it, or something like that.
Wasn't it like
that
$7,500?
$7,500 for the FK BRNO. I'm like, man, there is no way anybody's ever going to buy these. Well, the pistol has been a success, but in order to make it more accessible to people, and I'm doing a screen share, this is the polymer version of it. It's called the FK BRNO. I call it Bruno, just it's a Czech thing. PSD, which stands for Personal Security Detail Pistol. And it's a $2,000 gun. Let's just get that out right now. It is kind of loosely based on the CZ75 with the slide design. I'm not going to show a bunch of pictures of it. This is pretty much all I'm going to show for it. But when you buy it, it shoots the 7.5 FK round, and then it also comes with a 9mm conversion kit that has the barrel and 2 mags. And they just announced that they're going to do a 10mm conversion kit. So $2,000 is pretty steep, but you're essentially getting the ballistic equivalent of a semi-automatic 44 Magnum. And that when you start to get into 44 mag semi-autos, or you look at a Deagle, Desert Eagle, they're not cheap guns. You're getting up into the big boy club where you're looking at a $1,000 on up entry level price point to get into guns like that, short of a revolver. Okay. So you're looking at 15 rounds. If you shoot the 7.5 FK round, it is 2,000 feet per second coming out of the barrel. It has 880 foot-pounds of energy coming out of the barrel. The idea was basically for security detail, they can lay down suppressive fire against terrorist attacks with AKs. They specifically said that's what the gun was developed for. They wanted a hard-hitting round that could drop a 300-pound plus target at 100 meters, and it would have to generate an 1.25 inch wound channel that would run at least over 11 inches in ballistics gel at 100 yards. So if you watch the I know it's all hype and marketing and stuff, but if you watch the videos they have on the channel for the ammo, they designed it to show it shooting through barriers, shooting through glass, and still penetrating ballistics gel. It is a wicked little round, and the ammunition is going to be produced stateside, or there's a U.S. importer for the ammo, one of the two. So getting ammunition is not going to be impossible. It's not like you'll never be able to find it anywhere. You're never going to see it on a Walmart shelf. It's just kind of my prediction, but it is something that's going to be out there. It is a very powerful round. The U.S. is going to get a 95 grain all copper hollow point. And that's cool. Now, would I buy one? I don't know. I guess if I had $2,000 sitting around, I'd probably pick one up. But what do you guys think about that? I mean, is it, it is a complete, the cartridge from the ground up is totally an original design. It's not a bottleneck version of anything else. I almost think of it as a 357 SIG on steroids. So
see, the only problem with proprietary cartridges and proprietary guns and things like that is ammo availability. If you don't have, obviously, if you have enough money to buy the pistol, you obviously have enough to buy ammo for it.
Well,
but availability for ammo is you really can't go out to, Walmart or even Cabela's and get it. Cabela's might have it eventually, but the only issue with that kind of round is it's primarily only internet sales for now.
Yes.
What was it that they said at the booth that had the original pistol, Travis, down in Tulsa, that their minimum ammo order because they'd sold half a dozen of those pistols. Yeah. Their minimum ammo order with it was $2,000 worth of ammo. Yeah, most of the guys that get it just plop the money down and invest in it so they know they have it. Plus, they'll have the brass if at some point reloading ever becomes a possibility. Or something.
But again, with these, I don't want to call them wacky because it's definitely a cool cartridge, but these wacky cartridges that are different and proprietary is there's no. See, when people do proprietary cartridges, you can't take something and then neck it down to make that cartridge, which is a hindrance if you do reload. So you have to get the brass all the time. I mean, granted, you'll probably find something that can be necked down to that cartridge, but it's probably another wacky cartridge that is equally as hard to find. So, it's just one of those things that you have to weigh your what you need the most. And,
so I want to assign some homework real quick. If anybody out there in the chat can help me find the ammo for sale, I would really like that. If anybody can help me find where it's for sale, I guess I'm seeing some at Gun Broker, but
So I'm gonna hop out
for sale on Gun Broker. But yeah.
I'm gonna hop out. It's range day today, and it's a nice balmy 55, 60 degrees outside. So
hey, you got to get out there and enjoy that fantastic New Jersey weather, huh?
Yeah.
All right, man.
Have a good one, you guys.
Hey, all right. Take care, anyway. Thanks for stopping by, man. Yep. Appreciate the unboxing. And save that wrapping paper. Save the wrapping paper for Christmas.
I will.
Expect to see it in giveaways in the future. So
sure.
I'm giving you a hard time. So Gary, what do you think? Would you buy one of those FK PSDs? Would you pick one up, or did you find any kind of a use for a pistol like that, Gary? What do you think?
That's honestly out of my price range, man.
Just a smidge. 2000. I think we had mentioned before. I think the question came up. Maybe it was Kingpin that poised it in one of the past podcasts. What's the most you see yourself you would ever really spend on a pistol? And I think a lot of us just basically stopped at $1,000 because you can get so much for $1,000 that pretty much puts you in the range of most new SIGs, Glocks, even your MOS Glocks and things like that. You can get into that under $1,000. Revolvers.
I'll catch heck for saying this, but it's true. I think I could pretty much get rid of every tourist pistol I own, and I own half a dozen of them.
Sure.
And rebuy them for what it would cost to buy this one gun.
Yeah. Well, with the 9mm conversion kit, at least they make it so that you can train with it on a less expensive level. That's good. They include that in the kit that they're going to do that.
I'd love to rent one.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
But as far as owning it, I don't know about all that. But
it's a pretty significant
buying the gun, and then having enough money just to go shoot it at the range, you'd have to be pretty well off. So.
Oh yeah, I think the field pistol weighs about 3 pounds, 3.5 pounds, or something like that. The all steel one, I don't know about this polymer one, but they basically did the polymer one. So now the funny thing is, they can offer this pistol with a conversion kit for $2,000, even though it's a polymer frame. It really makes the field pistol look overpriced. Now at that point, it's like, okay, $5,000 difference to go with the polymer frame. I mean, that's almost makes you feel like maybe the field pistol should be half that price. Maybe sell it for $3 or $4 if you want to go metal, and then $2 if you want to go polymer. Because you get I don't know if the conversion kit comes with the field pistol too, or just this PSD. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to market that. I was looking on Gunbroker, and there's a FK field pistol. That's the all metal version of what we were looking at. They were asking $8,200 for it to start your bid, and I'm sure if you look around, you can probably buy them for the MSRP, for the retail price. But yeah,
is anybody else a little bit scared though of a polymer version of that? I mean, I remember how front heavy that is. That dust cover on that thing is massive, or just the bottom of the frame, I guess it is, where the recoil spring is. I mean, that round is generating a lot of energy, and that takes a serious amount of weight and spring to soak that up. And you take that weight out, and I'm a little concerned about, I might only shoot that thing 1 or 2 rounds before my hands and wrists say, all right, that's enough.
Okay, in the marketing videos, they're shooting the hell out of it. Of course, it's marketing videos, but I know that's a good. They said that the recoil needed to be on par with a 45 ACP plus P. That was in the design of the cartridge. They wanted it so that the recoil impulse. Now that's in the all metal gun. That's not the polymer one. So yeah, I mean, it could. I never thought about that. It might be an unpleasant gun to fire. I mean, you're going to want to buy it so you can enjoy it and shoot it and really enjoy that round. And find its applications. But if it isn't fun to shoot, that was one of the reasons when I first got into shooting. That's one of the reasons why I got rid of my first pistol, which would have been a Gen 2, I believe, at the time, because it didn't have a rail on it. G20 Glock. It was just not. It was very uncomfortable to shoot more than, say, 50 rounds, and I really wanted to train and get good with the pistol. I just didn't enjoy it. So I ended up selling it, and I bought a Walther. I don't remember what it was. It was the Walther W99 or whatever. I think Smith & Wesson made the SW99 version of it. And I ended up buying that instead, and that's what downgraded me to 9mm since then. P99? Yeah, I had one back in the late 90s when they first came out. And didn't really, I mean, it was fun to shoot and stuff, and it was much easier for me on, on the hands. But now I would really enjoy, a 10mm now that I've had an opportunity to shoot all these guns. But I hate to spend that kind of money, and then you get it. Like Gary said, it'd be kind of nice to be able to rent something like that first if you could. And then AWAG makes a good point about the ammo. I mean, I'm trying to find the ammo online. You guys in the chat, if you can find some ammo for me somewhere that has it for sale, I'd really like to know where. Southpaw is saying, I want to see Z Shadow 2 prices I've seen between $100 and $1,200. Yeah, I mean, man, you can get yourself, hey, pay $7,500 to hurt your hand and have it blow up. Yeah, I'm not into that. I don't think the gun's going to blow up. It's safe. They've tested the heck out of it with the polymer. But, okay, so Scott says, the last time I saw it was $100 for 50 rounds of 7.5 FK. And there's probably going to be a markup if you have to go through a middleman and you can't order directly from the producer or from FK themselves. So... I mean, it's a cool round, and it's an amazing round. I mean, man, they shot a caribou with the thing at 100 yards and basically dropped it in their promo video, where they were up and testing it up in, I don't know where the hell they were. Maybe it was the Czech Republic or somewhere in Eastern Europe or something. But they showed a hunting video from it, and it'll drop. I mean, it's a pretty stout round, but they said the power equivalent is that of a 44 Magnum. So me personally, if that's the kind of power equivalent I'm looking at, I would probably just get a nice higher end 44 mag revolver. Granted, you don't have a 15 round capacity, but if you want to save the money and spend it on ammo and really develop it, I would really learn to shoot the 44 mag. So
Wait a minute.
Hey, Travis, I got to jump out too. I'm at work, so thanks for the invite. Thanks everybody. Have a great day.
Hey, no problem, man. Thanks for joining in, buddy. Yeah, what's up, Tony?
If memory serves, the 44 Magnum's muzzle energy is fairly markedly higher than that.
Oh, they say they wanted something on par with. I mean, I'm sure there's 44 mag loads that are similar to that 7.75 FK, 2,000 feet per second, 880 foot-pounds. I didn't get a chance to really research how that compares energy-wise, but that's just what they claim in the marketing and what they said they try to develop the parameters for the round around. But yeah.
When I was checking, what I was running for hunting rounds is up over 1,200.
Oh wow. Okay. So maybe a person's money is better spent just picking up a nice 44 mag. So that's a thought. But anyway, just wanted to talk about it, kind of pick your brains on that, see what you guys thought about it. So Kingpin, you got that on your short list now, or what? Is that gonna be your next gun that you pick up?
Yeah, I figured. I got a couple of Nighthawks that I was going to buy today. I got a piggy bank I want to empty, so got to throw some cash around.
Well, try to get that thing on the Baltimore purchase list. I wonder if you'll ever see that in your lifetime, if that FK will ever show up on there. Here we go. We got an $8,000 gun, and you can't even buy it. The gun that nobody can afford, and you can't even get it.
That's what the second piggy bank is for paying off Maryland politicians.
There you go. Yeah, I think we'll just stick with the 1911 for now, huh? Yeah. Oh man, so that's some crazy stuff. But anyway, just wanted to get that out there and see what you guys thought about it. But again, they are going to do the 10 millimeter conversion for it too, which is pretty cool. So, okay. Now Scott says that they originally claimed that they had the power of a 357 Magnum Plus P. Okay. I thought I heard 44 Magnum. I've seen so many videos on it though. I mean, I don't know if anybody knows. Frank says, can I borrow 7,500? I wish, Frank, but we've got an expensive move coming up. So maybe I could sell my Honda and raise some funds and I can loan you the money, Frank. Maybe we'll go that route. So go fund Frank campaign over there to pick him up an F7 or a FK 7.5. So, oh man, good stuff. All right. Any other thoughts on that at all before we move on? Anyone? Take that as a no. I hear the crickets. All right. So let's go and talk about the next part. This is something that hopefully we can all relate to. And Kingpin, I don't know if you have a lot of experience with these, with revolvers. I wanted to maybe just share some of our favorite revolvers that we fired, that we own, and maybe make some recommendations for somebody who's pricing out a revolver. Maybe somebody wants to get into shooting revolvers. What do you guys think? What are some of the best revolvers that you fired before? So Squib, I don't know. Do you own any revolvers? Do you have any in your collection? You do, right? Let him get to the mute button there real quick. Hey, Squib, are you there? He might be busy right now. Tony, what do you think, man? If somebody wants to get into getting a revolver, what would you say, Tony? What should they go with? 357 mag, 38 special, 44 Magnum? Any thoughts, Tony?
There is no reason to worry about going into like a 44 Magnum because you don't have to buy the hottest 44 Magnum out there.
Okay.
And it is a fine weapon to shoot.
I mean, personally, what are your thoughts on the Ruger GP100, Tony? Do you like those?
I've never had one in my hands.
Okay. I have, and they're nice. I mean, they're very well built. They're very accurate. The recoil is mitigated. The one that I shot was a longer barrel version. There you go. And that's your Ruger. Oh man, is that your Vaquero or is that your what? Red Hawk?
Wesson.
Oh no. Okay. I was off on that. Okay.
And yes, it is loaded.
Oh, of course, man. It should be. That's what it's for.
My Vaquero, right here.
Oh yeah.
And that's 44 Magnum.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite's probably this, and it's not 44 Magnum.
What is that?
That's 1875 Outlaw.
Oh, nice.
It's probably the prettiest gun ever made as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Yeah, when it comes to these revolvers too, I mean, you can get some inexpensive entry-level revolvers. There's the Windicators out there for $300 and some. There's the Taurus Poly Protector, but you're probably going to be dropping, what, anywhere between 500 to 800 for a nice quality all metal revolver. You know, you can spend whatever you want. GP 100s, I think they run maybe around 600, 650 if you want to go that route. But you know, you got a lot of options out there. I would say go with at least a 357 mag, because then you could shoot your 38 specials through it. You know, you could fire some lighter loads until you develop into shooting, or you can just go right into and get yourself the, you know, some of the nice Magnum rounds too.
Yeah.
So.
See, that's the thing with 44. You can get 44 special, but it's not cheap.
Yeah.
But I load my own, so that really cost is not a big issue.
Oh yeah. Now, what do you think about this, Tony? Scott is saying that you can't go wrong with a used, what was it, Security 6? Let's see, is that what Scott was saying over there? You can't go wrong with the used Ruger Security 6 357 mag. Yeah, that might be the way to go too.
I have absolutely no problem with Ruger stuff. I have 3 Ruger 44 Magnums.
SS Pond is, yeah, go ahead.
I don't happen to have my Super Blackhawk Hunter over here at my daughter's house with me. But I did bring both my Vaqueros.
Here we go. SS Pond says the Ruger stainless steel revolvers are beautiful. So there you go. Any 686 or 586. What was the one that I took out? I took out a Colt. What was it, Patrol or something? I have to look up and see what that model was called. But was it the Highway Patrol model, the Colt Patrol revolver? I took that out a while ago. That was a fun little pistol to shoot. And then I've also taken out
Colt
a
Trooper.
Colt Trooper, yeah, Colt Trooper.
Yeah, 357 Magnum. We were running 38s and 357s out of it.
Yeah, that's a fun one, man. That's a fun one. Oh, is that the one you got to shoot, Squib, when you were out?
Yeah. Me and my son. Yeah. You brought that to the range. That was a lot of fun. I love Colt revolvers. They're expensive, but they're well made.
They are, man.
When I did all my qualifying when I worked for the government, I qualified on a Python, and man, that thing was awesome.
Well, maybe a person's money is better spent on something a little bit higher end. You know, put some money back for a while and pick yourself up a nice solid revolver, and you can go that route. You know, and there's also the Taurus trackers seem to be decent too. I know that Sandhills is a big fan of those, and those are, you know, you can get into one of those for probably around under $500, I would guess. There was a time when I was pricing those out too, because I was really interested in picking one up, just to be able to get into a 357 mag. Personally, I would just put the money back and get a GP 100, maybe try to pick one up used.
I've got the tracker in 357, and I bought it used, so that's the reason I didn't get the GP 100, and it's a fantastic gun. The guy who I bought it from actually got the Ruger, and once again, that's another fantastic gun. So either way you go, in my opinion, you're gonna get a good buy.
Now, Kingpin there, I'm sure I've probably seen your videos on in the past, but how is that accuracy wise at the range? Have you taken it out and then put some lead down field and showed off what it can do?
Oh yeah, and surprisingly enough, first time my friend shot it, he'd never shot a revolver before, and we started in single action, and then fire double action after that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you start that way, it's real easy to stay on target, and I'm sure it doesn't matter, but I know when we started with the first shot double action, our groups weren't as tight, but when we started with our first shot single action, they were all super, super tight, and I mean, zero recoil at all. Now, occasionally I would mess with him and I'd mix in some 357 and 38 specials. So he'd be firing the 38s and then all of a sudden the 357 would go off. But other than that, it was really smooth.
That's really a good way to train, to be patient with a revolver. Especially in revolver, you could do that, mix up the different way, the different types of rounds when you're shooting it. That'd be a really good way to train for it. I was going to just check and see what one of those costs. Now, did yours have the ported barrel on the front too, or is that something that came later on?
Yeah, mine's got the longer barrel, and it's got the ports on the front. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm looking at the trackers right now over on Classic Firearms. You can get into the 22s are in the upper $400 range. Let's see. I'm trying to, a lot of them are out of stock right now. 17 HMR. Yeah, that's right, because they make them in those two different models. A 4-inch barrel Model 44 tracker is $406, which is not bad. $395 if you want that in blued. 357 Magnum. Oh my God. Okay, so you can get yourself a 6.5 inch matte stainless 627 tracker for $386 over at Classic Firearms. That is a freaking steal. And plus, and again, not that we want to have to use it, but you can get, well, you do get the lifetime warranty with it now. They've gone retro on that, and they now give you the lifetime warranty on all Tauruses across the board. Tony had some experience with Ruger, and Ruger says in their paperwork that they don't have a specified warranty period because the law doesn't require them to. But they say if your Ruger firearm ever fails, you send it in and they will repair it. Now, they don't state whether or not it's going to be free to the user or not. Kingpin, have you ever had to send in any Ruger products at all for repair? I never have. You ever had to do that at all?
No, I haven't sent any in, but as you guys may be familiar with, I ask a ton of questions.
Yeah.
And I've sat on customer service with them for 15 minutes asking them questions, and not once were they like, okay, sir, well, we've got to go now.
Yeah.
You know, they're just, is there anything else we can help you with? Is there anything else we can help you with? So I haven't had to have anything fixed or repaired or replaced, but they're definitely cool with sitting on the phone and talking to you.
Patrick says that he's got also has a GP 100 and absolutely loves it. That would be definitely the revolver I would go for. I've had several revolvers. I do need to be more patient when I'm shooting with them. I've always thought that I just don't shoot them well, but part of it is I think my grip was just not good on the way that I was shooting it, and I've developed a lot with how I hold and handle firearms and shoot them, and I feel after taking several classes, I've gotten a lot more comfortable, especially with revolvers, because they just used to shoot them like garbage, and now it's much better. So, Tony, you want to tell us about your experience with your Ruger? What happened with yours? I know you told the story a couple times, but just to let people know, if they get a firearm, they're going to be getting buying into a decent brand.
Well,
yeah.
My Super Blackhawk Hunter, I inadvertently overloaded the thing and cracked the cylinder. And
was that a double charge on the round when you loaded it?
It wasn't double charge. It was a 10 grain over because I had my scale set on 10 instead of 1.
Oh, okay.
So it was like 3 times the charge I intended to put in, but that was still 30% over,
Yeah.
Light loads, I thought.
Yeah.
And I talked to the service guy at Ruger, and I told him what I did, because it's my fault the thing went.
Yeah.
And he said, it should have took that. They fixed it for nothing. Paid shipping both ways and all.
Yeah.
Ruger's outstanding on their warranty.
And, we always make such a big deal about, the High Point's got the lifetime warranty. The Taurus has a High Point warranty. Well, these higher end companies do too. Glocks, if I'm not mistaken, are, I'm totally off. It's either 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. You don't get a lifetime warranty with those firearms, or a 5-year warranty. I don't know about Smith & Wesson. I'm not sure what they say. They might be lifetime also. Granted, if they stand behind their product and it's not user cost, it would be nice if the firearm would have the warranty for a lifetime. Although I've sent my High Point in for repair. I broke it when I was disassembling it, and I've talked about this before. And I sent it in. It was $25 to send it in because of the shipping. I had to ship it through FedEx or UPS or whatever, and they sent it back with an extra mag, a fully printed instruction manual on disassembly and reassembly in color, test rounds. They just said it. I don't know. There was a rod that was in the pistol grip that bent when I disassembled it, and I don't understand how. It wasn't the gun because I fired it before I cleaned it. So I did something to it when I was trying to take it apart. That's the one bad thing about the High Point pistols. They're not easy to disassemble and clean, in my opinion. They do require, I think, a punch in order to do that. You want to be really careful when you do that. But they took care of me. So, But anyway, back to the revolvers. I was looking it up, and you can get yourself into a GP 100 over Classic for $642. I just use Classic as kind of the standard for pricing stuff, just because, and they do charge shipping. Sometimes it's 10, 15, 20 bucks on a firearm, and then you'd have a transfer fee. So that $640 gives you an idea what you could be paying. If you can find one locally for $650 or a little bit more, I would say go ahead and get one. And that's for the 6-inch barrel version of it too. Now, David, do you shoot E38 special through that? How's that been for you? Or you just strictly do 357 mag in that Taurus?
Well, when I bought it, I got a bunch of 357 and 38 special from the guy I bought it from. So I just switch back and forth. I take a box of 38 and a box of 357 and just, shoot one box each time I go to the range, or it depends on how many people I have with me. I'll take a couple boxes.
And how's that recoil on both of the loads? No problems at all? It doesn't No hand fatigue or no major shock or anything like that?
No, and for me, the only difference that I can tell is the sound.
Okay.
Yeah, you can kind of feel a little bit difference in the 38 special, but for the most part, it's just the sound that's different.
Okay. Yeah, so it's not a whole lot different then. So cool, man. All right. Well, there you go, man. Other favorite revolvers you guys want to throw out there? Anything you have any experience with that's really been? How about like maybe some black powder revolvers? You guys, any of you guys own those at all?
I have 1816 Army, but I haven't shot it yet.
Okay. Got a little bit of the sinuses are kicking in this morning, so yeah. I mean, black powder revolvers would be a lot of fun too. Now, again, hey, David, can you guys buy those in Maryland? Black powder revolvers without any kind of checks at all? You just got to be a certain age to buy them, or
Yeah, in Maryland, you can buy anything black powder without a license.
okay,
And then, there's different rules as far as like 1984 and this, that, and the third with other guns. But for the most part, if you wanted to go 2019 and go buy a black powder gun, rifle, or a handgun, you can just walk right off the street and buy them. There's no requirements for those.
yeah, it'd be kind of fun picking up just to kind of dabble in black powder a little bit. That might be something to look into too. And I know sometimes they sell like kits where you can assemble the firearm also, and you get to do your stocks in whatever color you want. They have kits you can purchase and you put them together, which would be a lot of fun. I know they also do that for some black powder rifles too, like some of the older musket styles and things like that. You can buy the kits and you get to assemble it, and that'd be pretty interesting. Yes, I mean, me personally, GP100 is nice. Older Smith & Wessons. I mean, I got nothing against Smith at all, new or old, but I've only fired older ones, and they're really, really well built, really smooth. Colt revolvers, yeah, they're awesome. And what is it now? Colt's re-released the Python or Cobra, or what's the new Colt that's come out? Have they re-released something recently?
It isn't a Python.
Not the Python.
It's the King Cobra.
King Cobra. Yeah.
Midnight and I went up to the Great Outdoor Show a couple weeks ago in Pennsylvania, and we were checking those out. And it's a real bulky gun. It's the sights on it are just strange. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm not a revolver expert, and I'm definitely not a gun expert, but from where I stand looking at it, I wouldn't buy one. And Midnight knows a little bit more about revolvers, and he wasn't really a big fan of it either.
Okay. I'm looking at it right now. It does maybe some unusual ergonomics. Does it even have a rear sight on it? Because I'm looking at it right now, and I'm not seeing. Is that just the picture? It looks like there's not even. Is it just the groove in the top of the frame, and that's it? And then you got the front plate.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty much what the sight picture is. It's like you got a little groove in the back and then the front sight.
Now they do have one that's got like a little fiber optic light up sight on the front. That might be a little bit easier to deal with. Yeah, we're looking at $8.99 right now for your retail price on that. $12.99 if you want the stainless model. I mean, it might be something you definitely want to try out before you buy it. That's for sure. If you know anybody that has one, I'd definitely take one to the range first. So, yeah, that'd be the way to go. Yeah. All right, man. Cool. All right, Gary, revolvers for you. You got any revolver experience at all?
Just a couple.
Okay.
I have a Heritage Rough Rider, which is a fun, cheap, and expensive.
They are
22.
Yeah.
6-inch barrel on that, and then I do have a Taurus Model 85.
Okay.
In stainless. It's a 38 special.
Okay.
I don't own a 357. I'd like to someday, but it's just a little pocket self-defense revolver, and I really love it. I mean, I'm not real accurate with it, I'll be the first to admit, but it's fun to shoot.
Yeah, the little snubby nose pistols, man. The accuracy on them can be kind of tough. I know I took my my stepdad's Rossi 44 mag out with this little 2-inch barrel on it. That thing was just a beast. It was just every time you fired it, no matter how you gripped it, no matter what you did, it was like you're slamming your hand on a table every single time the shot went through your hand. It hurt. It was so I didn't even want to do all 50 rounds. I really wanted to just stop at 25 and be like, okay, this was fun. But I mean, it's gonna work. But man, I don't remember what my accuracy was on it. I think I was having trouble going out past like 15 yards. Was just I would stay on a human silhouette. But Tony, what are you showing off there? What do you got, man?
That's my wife's gun.
Oh my God. What is that?
That is a Rossi 851.
Oof.
38,
What's that chambered in?
38 special.
Okay. Okay.
It
Nice.
is actually
Nice.
a good shooting gun. Real easy to sight. Fine, quite accurate.
You know, and say don't rule out those some of those single action. Tony, what would you recommend for some nice kind of single action cowboy style guns? What, you know, kind of the old Western style guns. What would you recommend for something like that? If somebody wants to get into that type of a gun.
God, anything Uberti does is good.
Ubertis are decent. Okay.
The Rugers, of course, but they're heavy.
Yeah.
You pay a pretty good weight premium for a Ruger Vaquero.
Yeah. The Vaqueros. Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, I've not had any experience with any. Like I've never, that I can remember, ever held a real Colt.
Okay. Heritage Rough Rider is a nice entry level way to get into. You get yourself that 22 mag cylinder to go with it, and you know they've got different barrel lengths, different grips that you can get them with. They look really nice. I mean, that's
I about forgot about that. I got a pair of those too.
The Rough Riders.
Yeah, they're great for kids.
Do you run them with 22 mag cylinders in them at all, or
only 22 long
LR?
rifle,
Okay.
22.
Yeah, long rifle. The 22 mag is really nice too. A little expensive for the rounds, but definitely something that's doable. So if you want to get into revolvers, you don't know if you're going to like it or not, that's definitely a good way to start. You can practice with that thing all day for pennies on the dollar. If you get yourself a nice brick of 22 LR and go to the range and have fun. I found them to be fairly accurate too. I know what's that?
The two I got are accurate.
Yeah. Now, I've been told, though, that the build quality on the newer ones, obviously, it's like any gun. A lot of the newer build quality on the guns have maybe gone down a little bit. I don't know if it's just maybe the fit and finish isn't what it used to be, but they're still functional, you know. Kind of like what you see with the lever action rifles coming from Marlin these days versus 20 years ago. Yeah.
The early ones, I had an early one with 12-inch barrel, and it was crap.
Okay. Oh, an early one. Okay.
Inaccurate. I hated it. So I was a long time even considering buying another one.
Mm-hmm.
And the shop manager where I bought it said that they had done extensive reworking to the way they built them, made them consider them better than they were in the beginning. And so far, that's proved to be true.
And those are made in the USA, if I'm not mistaken, right? The Heritage Rough Riders. Yeah. So you're not buying something that's imported. So you are supporting American labor and industry if you buy yourself a
They're
Rough
made
Rider.
in a factory in Florida that's owned by Taurus.
Oh, okay. Okay. And yeah, Taurus is now making their gun stateside too. I think that TX22 is one of the first ones that they've started making in their US factory now. So again, yeah, not a bad idea. All right, so now the next topic I wanted to go into, and this is my last topic for today. This was one that's been requested by a few viewers, and it was a while ago. What are some of our favorite guns of the Old West, either a style, model? What do you guys think of? Or any, we're talking 1800s here. What are some of the standouts that you guys think from our history? What are some of the ones that really catch your attention? Rifles or pistols? Anybody want to chime in on this?
Winchester 1885 high wall.
And why is that, Tony?
I don't know, man. There's just something about that thing that makes it the most desirable gun from that era. I've wanted one for years. I believe it's Browning's first gun design.
Okay. Are there any modern productions of those at all? Like anybody remaking them at all that you can pick up or not?
Yeah, Browning still makes them.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When it comes to Old West guns, I'm slowly educating myself on them because I've been so busy looking at, the newest and best of what's coming out now. I really haven't paid attention, unfortunately, to the history of a lot of our firearms because there are some really solid designs out there.
I could sell all of my Rugers and probably both Ubertis I got and still not afford that high wall.
Oh man.
They're expensive, and I don't know why, man. There's not that much to them.
So that's the high wall 1885, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Let me check that out real quick here. Oh, yeah. Okay, let me just do a little screen share for those that don't know what we're talking about. Because, again, some of these, you might not be, a lot of you guys might not be Old West gun guys, or some of you may be. Here's that. The high wall that we're talking about. Now, they do come in different chamberings. What would you be looking at for chambering in that? 4570. Tony, you still with us, bud?
Yeah, 4570.
So Browning 1885, high wall 4570 government. Here we go.
You know, you look at that and then you look at the sharps of the day, and that gun is considerably more compact.
Wow. That is pretty sweet. So how much are we talking here? What are we looking at? Should I go ahead and take out a mortgage on this or what?
I think a new one's $4,000 or better.
Oh God. Oh, let's find you one, Tony. We can find you one real quick here. 1885. What else is out there, Tony? What else do you recommend? What's another nice good gun of the West that somebody should look into?
You will never ever go wrong with either the Winchester 92 or 94 or the Marlin 94. And if you want a big one, the Marlin 95.
Here's one on Gun Broker for you. Browning Highwall 4570. Starting bid is $1,200.
Oh, hell, that ain't as bad as I thought.
No, there you go. You might be able to pull it off after all. And this is going to be, is this new or used? I'm assuming this is going to be used. Let's see here. Trying to find the description here. Item description is in excellent condition. You'll not be disappointed. So there you go, Tony. You won't be disappointed. Got your credit card on standby? Let's go and get this. Let's do this right now. What else? How about revolvers, Tony? What are some of your favorite Old West revolvers that people should be definitely checking out? What do you think? What are some of your favorites?
If you're going with cap and ball, I'd probably look at the 1858 Remington. The Walker has a lot of mystique about it, but it's probably not one for being your first, because there's some quirks to that thing that develop, and it is a massive gun. If you want cartridge guns, the 1875, any of the 1873 Colt Peacemaker clones is fine.
Oh yeah.
Beyond that, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I would not suggest buying a brass frame like the early Colt Navies if you want to shoot a lot, because I don't know how well them will hold up. I've heard horror stories, but I've never experienced that myself.
Okay. Squid, what do you have? Don't you have what some of the?
I've got I've got a new model Army. I'm sorry, a new model Navy, which some people call the 1858 model. I've got a Lamat Navy model, and I've got a Colt Walker.
Okay. How are they shooting? I mean, if somebody wants to pick one up, what do you think about that?
Well, my Lamat, for all the it's so cool. No, it's not that great. It's really, I'm planning to do a series of videos. I just haven't had time where I try to fix some of the issues with it and revisit it, and hopefully I get that in the works. It's definitely overpriced for what it is. The Walker, Tony says it's massive. I consider that a normal sized handgun. So
I was going to say shots fired. As soon as you said that, I figured you'd probably chime in and you'd be like, dude, come on, man.
Everything smaller than that is just small. But I will say this, it'd be nice if the grips were a little bit bigger on it. The new model Navy, I just got that and I've only shot it once, and it takes a little bit getting used to the way the cylinder is, but overall, just right out of the box, I'm really liking it. So there will be more black powder revolvers in the future for me. I really love the historical aspect of it. I will say this, if you're looking to get into them, you've never shot them, you don't have any experience with them, there's a lot of secondary equipment that you need in order to properly load and maintain them.
Yeah.
But if you buy that equipment for your first revolver, it'll work for pretty much all the other ones. So it's kind of a one-time investment.
Yeah. Tim Foley out there on the YouTube side says the Walker was the most powerful revolver till the 357 mag came out.
Yeah. But I will say this, though. Without any modifications, if you load it to a max charge, when you fire it, the loading lever has a tendency to fall off and lock up the cylinder. You can either reduce the load or you can make some modifications to it So that'll be something I plan to do. If it's if I can get away with just cutting a little groove there with a file and getting it to latch in place better, then I'll do that. If I've got to do something else, I mean, there are places where you can send these away, and they can tune them up for you and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I might go that route. I don't know. I was thinking about getting a second walker, but now I'm really thinking that I want to get a pair of Dragoons, which are very similar. So
Yeah.
They're the model that Colt produced after the Walker. The Walker was originally a limited run just for the Texas Rangers. So there's more reproductions out there than there ever were real original Walkers.
Okay.
So.
Here's a little link. I put this over on let me put this on the gun channel side real quick, and I put this over on the YouTube side. Outdoor Magazine has their top 10 weapons of the Old West, guns of the Old West, 10 iconic firearms and legendary men and women that shot them. So I'm just going to run through this real quick. Number 1 is the Buffalo Bill Remington Rolling Block Rifle in 4570. There you go, Tony. That's what you need right there.
That's what I'm saying. You put that Browning up beside that, and that Browning's about 6 or 8 inches shorter, and probably 5 pounds lighter.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that's probably a pretty heavy one. The number 2 was the Yellow Hairs Remington Army Revolver in 44. It says 44 caliber, right? Remington Army Revolver. This Buffalo Bill Center of the West, man, I got to go out there to Cody, Wyoming. It sounds like they've got a nice gun collection out there. What's that, Tony?
The 44 thing on that's kind of a misnomer because they're actually 451.
Okay.
Caliber. Is why you can get conversion kits to shoot 45 ammo or cartridges out of them.
Oh, okay.
But you have to load those with black powder. You've got to do a cowboy load. You cannot use smokeless powder in a black powder reproduction that's been cut to fit cartridges in there. The metal's not rated for it. Now you can get pre-made paper cartridges. They did something like that back in the 19th century, or you can make them yourself. You can buy all the stuff. There's instructions online. If you go to a channel, Dustin Weiniger, he has a lot of good information on paper cartridges that you can do, and you just slide them right in the cylinders, and it's a lot faster. They had all kinds of little tricks back in the 19th century. There's some debate on whether or not they actually changed out cylinders on the guns or whether or not they just carried extra guns. And every side of the argument from a historical standpoint has merit, but I haven't done enough research on it to form an opinion on which was more common.
It's really difficult to take that kind of thing down too, because so many little things were done at hole in the wall gunsmiths and blacksmiths shop.
Here's our number 3, guys. We got Wild Bill Hickok's Colt Model 1851 Navy revolver. I really need to get out to this place, the Buffalo Bill Center of the West, out in Cody, Wyoming. That's not a very far drive from where I live.
The 1851 was probably the most common black powder revolver of its day. It was produced from 1851 to 1873.
Okay.
And what I eventually want to get a couple of those in my collection, but I also want to get a Richards Mason's conversion, which is what they did was if you couldn't afford an open top, or you couldn't afford a new model Army, you would take your black powder revolver and send it away, and they'd convert it to fit cartridges, and it was the poor man's way of getting into the new cartridge game.
Okay.
And they've got reproductions of the Richard Mason's conversions.
Oh,
I think
cool.
two other companies I think were also doing conversions at the time.
Yeah.
So you just take your old revolver, or you buy an old, somebody wants to get the new cartridge revolver, so they sell their old black powder revolver, and then you can't afford it, so you would pay to have it converted. And the modern day reproductions I think can handle full smokeless powder loads.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You got to think back then, a lot more poor people were around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here's Custer's Sharps Model 1853. There's another nice one. That's our number 4. And again, this is also out there in Cody. I think these are all from the same collection. Number 5, we got Annie Oakley Smith & Wesson number 3.
I want one of those.
There you go.
Just to have that break top revolver in my collection is the only reason.
Was that in 44 Russian?
It says 44 Smith & Wesson.
Which is not as good as 44 Russian, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Let's see. Number 6 on their list, they got Buffalo Bills Winchester Model 1873 smoothbore in 44 caliber. The Model 1873.
And about any of these, you can buy repos of.
Oh yeah, I was kind of curious about that. How much of that? I mean, you see these and think they're a really cool design. Could you pick one up?
Oh yeah,
Number 7. Here's Teddy Roosevelt's Winchester Model 1895.
The ugliest Winchester ever made.
That was what's that?
That was the ugliest Winchester ever made.
It's interesting. It's interesting. It's a 405 WCF Winchester. 405 Winchester is what it was chambered for.
But you could get it in 30-06 or
okay.
Any number of.
Is that available as a reproduction rifle or not?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sure that somebody's doing it.
There you go. And then we've got the next one is, this one's not actually marked. Okay. Liver Eaton Johnson's Hawken rifle. There you go. 56 caliber black powder.
That ain't right according to the movie. He had a 30 and a 50, but who knows how correct that was.
Yeah. The half stock Hawken rifle. I like to see these in real life. I think I need a road trip out to this place. This sounds pretty cool. This one, there's something wrong with the picture here. This is Buffalo Bill Springfield Model 1866 trapdoor. 50 caliber also. That's their number 8. Number 9 is Frederick Remington's Spencer repeating carbine.
Now there's repros of the Spencers too.
Okay.
But I'm not really interested in one, so I don't know how much they cost.
The reproductions of the Spencers are going to be center fire. The original Spencers were all rim fire, and they were in various calibers. So you could get them. They were all around. I want to say like 50 caliber diameter, but they had a lot of different variations of the ammunition. It's a little bit confusing. But the reproductions, it would be impractical to replicate any of the original rimfire loads from the 19th century. So they just do it in a simple center fire. I can't remember what caliber it's available in.
When did the 33 lever action debut? When was that approximately? Do you guys know?
The what?
The 30-30? Any of the lever action 30-30s? Yeah.
At 96.
1896.
The 1894 rifle was, they say, built for that, but it didn't come around in smokeless until 1896, as far as I know.
Okay.
I could be off on that because I got a lot of stupid shit floating around up here, and I get confused. But I'm pretty sure it was 96.
Yeah. Some pretty good stuff that they had out there. It was interesting stuff. But let's see. Looking at some of the comments, a lot of these are going to be pretty pricey if you get the reproduction ones. I mean, you really got to want that design or really like it to, you can appreciate the historical aspect of it, or So Kingpin, I should have Kingpin running this right now because you're the guy doing all the research into the old guns, huh?
The Henrys, to get a repro Henry from Henry is extremely costly because of the way they make it. Because the barrel and magazine are machined out one piece of steel.
Yeah.
It's in the $2,000 to $3,000 range.
Oh my God.
But it is a real reproduction. Yeah. I mean, it's really real reproduction. It's chambered in 4440, which the original Henrys were a rimfire cartridge, but some were later cut and converted for the 4440 cartridge, which is center fire. So if you buy a modern reproduction for the price you're paying, you're pretty much getting one that you would have had in the late 19th century that you had converted to go away from rimfire to center fire.
Black Hat saying that the Spencer reproduction can be had in 45 long cold or 5650. So guy that comments said, so did Caliber Corner ever happen during Thursday? Guy that comments, that's going to be starting up in April. Caliber Corner will be moving to Thursday evenings from 5 to 7 o'clock Central Time, starting in April, so 6 to 8 East Coast time. So no, it won't. If I do, sometimes I do some live podcasts just in the afternoon. when I get home from work. So I'll just sometimes turn the camera on and just chat with you guys. But the actual change of caliber corner won't be until April, just for your marking. So it's coming up in a couple weeks here. Let's see. Scott P79 says, I want a Remington Model 8 M35 Remington. Sketchy Roll said, what's that rifle that won the West? Was it the lever action, or what was the rifle that won the West, guys?
1873.
The what?
The trapdoor.
1873.
Oh, okay. The trapdoor. Okay.
No, God.
Not the trapdoor.
Winchester 1873.
Winchester 1873. Okay.
That's the one that gets the credit. Either that or the.
Yeah, it got the credit, but it actually wasn't the one that did it. Historically, it would have been the trapdoor.
Okay. Gotcha. Just see if anybody else is making any of their comments. Uberti makes a really good reproduction of the 73. Yeah. So, you know, if you're into that kind of thing, if you want something close to it.
No, don't be surprised when you see some of the prices on these reproductions. I mean, you can easily pay $1,200 to $1,800 for a reproduction.
If you're wanting to plunk down, the $1,200 to $1,500, man, save your dough and go to Wanamaker, because they had hundreds of 73s laying around there.
That, yeah, if you want the old West style guns, reproductions, or even some originals, just go to Tulsa, man. They were tables and tables of everything, man. I mean, especially heavy on the what I would consider old West guns when we were there last spring. I mean,
come up to Michigan. We've got the same kind of show here 4 times a year.
Oh, okay.
More 19th century guns than I've ever seen before. I mean, it's like going to a museum for the price of admission. You don't have to buy anything, but they won't let you touch them.
Yeah. Oh, this is true, but still, if you're looking for one, you got that option out there. Scott P79 says, my local shop has a Winchester 1895 and 303 British I'd rather have in the rare 54R version. Yep. Yeah, it's some of these chamberings and some of these calibers, man. It was interesting what they did and when and why, because a lot of these were kind of a departure from what they originally were chambered for. So, yeah. Blackhead says, can you send me a link? I'm driving, but I know quite a bit about a lot of these. Blackhead, I'm honestly going to be wrapping it up here pretty soon because I need to get going. I just wanted to run through this. We can maybe have a discussion on it next week too if we want to continue. So Blackhead, otherwise I would, but we're pretty much about done. So Philo says, what? No more Saturday? Yeah, Philo. Life changes coming up. My wife is getting a job 175 miles away, so the weekends are going to be pretty busy. A lot of driving on the road, and she'll be coming here. I'll be going there. So. Yeah, I can't do Saturday morning shows in April after she moves. It's just not going to happen. So it's going to be a Thursday night thing. I do apologize, Philo. It's the only time slot that's really open where I'm not going to be corking anybody unless somebody goes live and does something, in which case we'll just deal with it at that point. But I'll be airing right before Sarge C4 show starting in April. So otherwise, guys, you got anything else you want to add at all? Like I said, I hate to cut it short, but I got a pretty busy weekend here lined up. We're gearing up to move the wife and getting stuff lined up for the move and getting stuff out of the house. But anything you guys want to add at all before we go? Anything about the Old West guns before we go ahead and call it?
Well, if you want repos, don't hesitate on buying the Ruger Vaquero because it will last for your grandkids' life.
Okay. And it'll still have a warranty on it at that point.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah. Yeah, Ruger Vaquero would be a nice entry-level way to get into it if you want that Old West gun feel. You kind of want to go with what the grandpappies used to carry.
And I really have nothing bad to say about Uberti. I mean, the ones that I have are fantastic.
Yeah.
But I haven't put thousands of rounds through them yet, so I don't know how they hold up. I'm sure they'll be fine.
Yeah. Let's see here. So, hey, real quick, Black Hat Outdoors, if you can send me an email address. I don't know if I've invited you yet to Caliber Corner, but at thecalibercorner@gmail.com, if you can send me a link at some point, or if you're over there on the gun channel side, I can send you a link to join in so you can be with us here on the episodes. Midnight Range is out there saying that I shouldn't let him in because he's going to ruin the show. No, we're just getting ready to wrap up, and I got to get going. But that's the reason why we're not going to bring in Black Hat. Black Hat, we'll get you on the next episode, man. You guys, anybody's welcome to join in if you want to. I'm cool with that. Just email me at gmail.com. What's that?
I think it'd be good to revisit this in the next episode, maybe if we've got a little bit more time. And absolutely, Black Cat knows a lot about this stuff. So.
Okay, Black Cat, you're going to be on point. You're going to be the Old West Guns expert, so you just got yourself set up for it. We're going to have a special guest, hope maybe another regular panelist. I don't know. Black Cat Outdoors will be joining us next week. We'll continue our discussion on some of these Old West guns because, we just kind of dabbled into some of the some of the models that are out there, what some of the big, one of the more popular rifles and pistols revolvers were out there at that time. So, all right, sounds good. Sounds good. He's like LMAO. That's right, man. You're on point now for next week, buddy. All right, cool. So real quick, let's just go ahead and let everybody plug their channel one more time, and then we'll go ahead and call it. So, Tony, we're going to start with you this time. So, Tony, anything you want to say before we go?
Just that an FYI, the Uberti 1858 or 1875 Outlaw is more accurate in my hand than my Ruger Vaqueros.
Okay. And cheaper or not?
Yes, it's cheaper. I think they're running around $5 to $5.50 a piece now, new.
Okay.
Where the Vaqueros are probably $7.
Which model of Uberti is that, real quick? The Uberti
1850. Damn it, 1875 Outlaw.
Okay. Because if you look them up, we're trying to check some prices here. I believe you on that. Yeah, $476 for an 1875 Outlaw and 45 Colt. 7.5-inch barrel, case hardened finish. So $476, man. Wow, that's not bad.
Yeah, mine were a little bit more because they're stainless.
Oh yeah, you get into the $700 range, $698. Depending on what you want for a finish, they're going to vary between $476 and $700. And they got tons of whatever you want. There's so many different. There's a countless number of varieties and stocks or grips that you get with them. So cool, man. All right, so Tony, anything coming up for you on your channel? We're going to get
Nope.
watch going? No.
The internet here is horrible too.
Okay. Well, if I can win Powerball, I would take over early watch, and then I could run it for you guys. But until that happens. All right. So thanks for joining us today, Tony. I do appreciate it. Sorry we had to cut it short today, guys. Squibby, anything you want to say before we go?
Thanks for the invite, and look forward to next week's show. I appreciate the fact that you bring me on when there's all this history stuff. You know, I'm a big sucker for that. So, well,
we really haven't covered it a whole lot. We've been so busy talking about gear and prepping and all these different models and stuff of guns. We really don't ever get into some of the older models, the history behind it, and the fact that the reproductions are out there and they're readily available. I mean, that is cool. And anybody who's an enthusiast, you can have that model that would have been very close to what our forefathers carried. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm always up for a show on that. So.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll get Black Hat Outdoors in here, and we'll fire up a little discussion on it. Maybe go through that top 10 list again and see what the pros and cons were with some of those rifles, and let the man share some of his knowledge with us. So
I look forward to it.
Cool. Yeah, we'll plan it for next week then. All right. And he goes off to the forklift. All right. So Kingpin, thanks for joining us, man.
Oh, always a pleasure. Thanks for having me, Travis. It means a lot to me. I like hanging out with you guys.
Cool. You want to plug the channel at all before we go?
No, not really. Check out Rick's Life as I See It coming up today at 3 p.m. Eastern. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Travis P11.
That's 2:00 Central Time for those of you that are underwater.
Yeah, nobody really cares about that.
No, pretty much. We're just floating by right now. So literally, yeah.
Hey, look at the bright side. When the East Coast floods, then
we'll have a
the
taste
Central
of that,
Time Zone will just be the East Coast then.
It'll all just kind of blend together into one because the ocean will just,
There you go.
Let's call it Ocean Maritime or some crap.
AOC land.
What's that?
We'll call it AOC land because we've only got 10 years left to live.
Oh, my God. All right, man. Cool. Thanks for joining us today. I appreciate it. Guys, make sure you check out everybody's channel here on the panel. Gizzard Gary, thanks for joining us, bud. You want to plug the channel before we call it?
Hopefully you can hear me. I'm on the road.
Yeah, you're good. Loud and clear, buddy.
Foul Territory on Friday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. The Sunday morning show I've been doing the past couple weeks, it may or may not be me hosting it. I think we're going to have it. It may be me and maybe Midnight Range TM hosting it. It's kind of up in the air, but it's been kind of a fun thing to do Sunday morning, Sunday afternoons. So, looking forward to that. GizzardGary.com if you want to look at my social media. And as always, thanks for the invite.
Yeah, make sure you give him the bird all the time, right?
You bet.
And real quick, it kind of blanked out there. I couldn't hear it. What are the names of the shows that you're doing? We're doing...
sorry, I may be in bad cell phone range.
Yeah.
Foul Territory on Friday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. And then I've been doing the early bird chat on Sunday mornings, usually around 9, 10 o'clock in the morning Central.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Midnight Range may be hosting that tomorrow. Depends on whether or not I get home in time.
Okay. Cool. Cool, man. Sounds good. All right. Well, hey, man, appreciate you guys spending the time and joining me on a Saturday morning. And again, mark your calendars. In April, Caliber Corner is moving to Thursday evening, so that'll be going on. I'll quit talking about it, but I just want people to get a heads up so people don't panic and wonder where the show is. So, all right, guys. So otherwise, check out my channel, Travis P11, over on YouTube, and check out the Caliber Corner over on gunchannels.com. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Get over to gunchannels.com, get yourself a membership. Not membership, but go ahead and sign in, register, get yourself set up for it. It's a good website to go to. A lot of great people over there. I met a lot of friends from that website. Otherwise, I got a lot more content coming out. I'll be releasing videos Monday and Wednesday for the next couple weeks, and then Caliber Corner on Saturday. I usually don't do a Thursday, Friday video release unless I have something extra pop up. But for right now, I got a little bit of gear coming up. Some more range tests will be coming up. It's starting to warm up now. My range is drying. I can get out there easily and not have to trek through the mud pit. So hopefully we'll keep drying out here in central Nebraska. But otherwise, guys, that's it. This has been Caliber Corner episode number 85, where today we talked about the 7.5 FK BRNO PSD pistol, our favorite revolvers overall, and some of the guns of the Old West, which we will continue that discussion next week. So, all right, Black Hat, we look forward to seeing you on the show next week too. So you guys take care, have fun, be safe, and as always, we will talk to you guys soon. All right, bye-bye.
Bye, Alicia.
Adios, Felicia. Adios, Felicia.